Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all. I still do have gift certificates available if you would like to gift somebody with a palm reading, tarot, or astrology reading. Also, I am planning on doing a discounted astrology reading for anybody with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the entire season of Capricorn. I myself am a double Capricorn, so of course I've got to share the love with my fellow Capricorns. So if you would be interested in something like that, or you'd like to gift your favorite Capricorn, just please let me know. All right. So the message today is not an easy one, but that's what I'm here for, you know. The message is mired in quicksand. Whew, and it really is. It's a rough energy, but you know what? A lot of people are experiencing rough energy right now, and I'm right there with y'all. I know, you know. I had a friend reach out to me today, and it was just like, we haven't spoken in a long time. And she had posted something on Facebook, and I was like, sis, what's going on? And whoa, like literal tragedies have been happening. And not just her, that was, man, that was the hardest one. But I'm hearing people just really facing a lot of challenges here and there. So, you know, it's not helpful that misery loves company. We don't want to see ourselves miserable first and foremost, and we don't want to see others miserable. But sometimes, you know, when you take into account astrology and that it's a collective shift that's taking place, it helps to somewhat depersonalize it, because it's easy to be like, what did I do wrong? And it's just you decided to be a human on planet Earth at this time. And that's not necessarily anything wrong. It's more that we all made the agreement that we would go through hell together this time. So let me start showing you the cards. So we start, well, the overlighting card. I always have this overlighting. It was the Nine of Cups reversed. And it's such a bummer because then the next card I go to is the Nine of Swords upright. And, you know, I wish it were more this way, or I wish this one just wasn't even in the picture and it was just this one, because this is happiness. This is wish fulfillment. This is truly being fulfilled, things going all right. But with it being this way, you know, when I see reversed cups, it's a drain on your energy. It's unhappiness. It is not happy. It's things not working out the way you want them to be. So it does feel, I'll jump ahead, it does feel like you do have the power to shift your focus right now. And I'll get to that in a minute, but I guess just acknowledging where we're at. And then, you know, this one is upright. And I always call this my PTSD card. This is just really being stuck in fear or really being stuck in trauma. Not so much stuck. Eight of Swords is more the stuck energy, but it does feel stuck. Mired in quicksand is what it feels like. And so it's like these reversed cups draining out. It's making some mud, making some quicksand, but it's stuck. It's being stuck in your mind. So it could really help to journal, really could help if you can go for a walk, just be outside, hug trees, touch grass, do what you can to reconnect to earth and disconnect from whatever's got you looped, whatever's got you feel like maybe you're drowning. So, you know, the order that they go into. So you've got the Sun reversed next to this Nine of Swords. And again, this is PTSD. This is like constant fear, constant worry. This could also be constant, you know, it's trauma. It's, you know, when shit keeps going wrong, it's just expecting the worst to happen. And we don't recognize that maybe we are creating the worst to happen. At the same time, some of this shit's just collective. And it, you know, we can say that we created it by, you know, I love to go to the astrology because there's heavy astrology happening right now. It is heavy. And Neptune just sitting there at 29 degrees Pisces. But it will move. It will move. I'll find out that date for you. You know what? I'm going to look right now. When the hell is Neptune moving? Because I keep saying it in videos and then I'm like, oh, I mean to say. So I might as well just find out. I can't promise that, the day it moves, everything's going to suddenly shift. And I just keep telling people, just hang in there until the spring equinox. And yes, we just had the winter solstice, but if you can just hang in there until the spring equinox and just whatever will happen, stay afloat, stay above water as best you can. And let me see. So Neptune will move into Aries on January 26th. And then Saturn will move into Aries on February 13th. And then they'll come together exactly on February 20th. But once Saturn moves in on the 13th, then they're together. And I don't know, if nothing else, be fascinated at the movement that we're experiencing and see the opportunities that you have to grow through challenges. You're definitely going to witness your power to get through things. So the sun being reversed, and the way this person has their back to the sun reversed and they're just stressing out, it's almost like they're not looking for the light inside. So maybe catch yourself if you feel like you're drowning in trauma or, just worries, that sort of thing. And I do get it. Just be gentle with yourself. And I kind of want to say, if there's a way that you can get creative, not for any purpose other than to, I saw a meme that said, when you've got like fear and anger and trauma, you've got to give it a place to live outside of your body. And so my son has started drawing abstract art, and he doesn't consider himself an artist, but he's actually making some really cool stuff. Just finding a place to channel that energy and express it, Sing, dance, movement is good. All the memes and stuff, but they are helpful. Singing and dancing. Dancing is like some sort of somatic healing because it helps to move that energy through your body. And I do this whole like snaky dance where I visualize music coming in through my crown chakra and I move it, through my neck. I need to dance more, my neck's all stiff, and move it down your arms and feel light and music traveling down and move it all down your body, all the way down. Remember to breathe and then like dance it into the earth. And then visualize the music traveling through the earth and bring it up through the soles of your feet and through your ankles. And again, like a snake, just move that energy through your body all the way up, down your arms, up your neck, and up and out the top of your head, and put that energy into your aura. That's creative movement, and that helps to free yourself from what may have you locked up. Singing also, when you sing and if you hold an intention, I always like to say you can be singing "Come On in My Kitchen," which is a Robert Johnson song I used to always sing. You can be singing "Come On in My Kitchen," but you can be sending out love and solutions or whatever it is that you're creating in your life. So it does feel like get creative. And then next to the sun reverse card, you've got the Pharaoh, which, I would take to be the emperor. And you see that, I don't know, there is like a maturity that I feel from these cards, and I'll just go ahead and show you. And then the Pharaoh is looking at the Ten of Swords. So we go from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords. Interesting, we go from the Nine of Cups reverse to the Nine of Swords, and then all the way through these to the Ten of Swords. So it could be that if there's something that you're looping on, there's some sort of a maturity to look at it and just say, I'm fucking done with this. Even if it's, trauma, and of course you can't just be done with it, but again, finding a way to express, finding a way to there's a maturity. I don't know. I look at this pharaoh and I just get this maturity, accepting your power. And it's interesting because yesterday I think we had the sun reversed and we had the emperor in the gummy bear deck, and allowing it to be done, just allowing whatever it is to be done. And underneath it there was like a hidden card, and I flipped it over. Well, there were two hidden cards. This one wasn't hidden, but these came out upright, and then this one came out reversed or face down. It's not even Mercury retrograde. And it's the Lovers reversed. And we do have 3 major arcanas here. So again, major destiny point. I think here is a warning that you could be looping yourself into a cycle of more and more of this energy bouncing back and forth, unless you really kind of get a grip on yourself if you can. And I don't mean to say that, it's just how it comes out. Just letting you know that you are more powerful than your circumstances. And and when I saw this, I was hearing like mired in the quicksand, and so it reminded me of something that my best friend and I often talk about, how you can't rescue people who are in the quicksand. We are rescuing ourselves, but it's almost like looking at versions of ourselves that, some of it just isn't going to be rescued. And like, what does that mean? It's almost like you have to give parts of yourself permission to, I don't know, it's not coming out the way I want it to. So I'm just going to tell the story and maybe I can say it the way I want it to, or not the story, but the metaphor. People can be mired in the quicksand and they can really want you to rescue them. And sometimes, we can't ultimately rescue them. We can throw them a rope, we can try, but you'll often find that when you try to rescue people in the quicksand, they just end up pulling you into the quicksand. And really, they're not recognizing that they are the ones resisting leaving the quicksand. They want to pull you in there and be miserable with them and stay mired. But it's like, and we might do it ourselves, we start making excuses for why we're in the quicksand. And it's like, well, you can justify being in the quicksand all you want, but that's not going to get you out of the quicksand. So it's like, you've got to pull yourself out. You've got to pull yourself out. And so in the case of others trying to pull us in the quicksand, it's really important to have strong boundaries. And, throw them a rope, give them a way that they can pull themselves out as best you can. But, ultimately, you've got to continue on. And sometimes the greatest hope others have, if they're looking to you to get them out of the quicksand, is for you to shine your light brilliantly. Where is that sun card? For you to shine your light brilliantly and make your way up the mountain. And maybe they'll keep an eye on that light, and that will inspire them to pull themselves out and follow that guiding light, whether it's yours or hopefully find their own light and follow that light. And so if this is you mired in the quicksand, it's very much that. It's bringing this, to the surface and get more engaged with your own brilliance. Again, some of this tough stuff that we're going through, we might be going through it for the next little while. And so resisting it, denying it, making excuses for staying stuck, it's just going to keep you stuck, but one way to get the energy moving is to shine that brilliance, shine that light. So again, then this pharaoh is looking at this 10 of swords. 10s indicate the completion of a cycle. And so now it's more about the maturity, about maybe owning what it is that you need to do so that you can get out of the quicksand. Whatever that is, and that's going to be unique to all of us, but it does look like there's a situation or maybe multiple situations that you need to let go of, or since these are all swords, beliefs you need to let go of, or stories that you're telling yourself that you need to let go of, or whatever it is about that's going around in your thoughts, just allowing this cycle to close out. You see that this person's dead, and so it could be that you need to let go of people, and especially with this Lover's card reversed, it could be that a love relationship ended badly, and you know, you're trying to resurrect it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be resurrected. Even if you did get looped into another cycle of it, it's going to be more of the same. How many times does a person have to stab you in the back before you recognize they only have knives for you? But then at some point, you have to admit that you're the one putting the knives in your back if you're betraying yourself, trying to cling to a situation or whatever. And the whole definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And it's not a matter of guilt, but I'm definitely guilty of doing that same thing. Don't be afraid to try new things. But definitely before you even do that, it's allowing cycles to end. Please allow the cycles to end. Then we did have a hidden card, and this one was like, it was hiding underneath this 10 of Swords, and it was face down. So I was like, okay, this is very much distinguishing itself from whatever this energy is. And so I'm happy to say it's the Page of Wands. And so it feels like closing out this cycle, out of that is born a new desire. Out of that is born a new passion, and it's a page. So it's a fresh idea. It's maybe a divine inspiration. It's a new perspective, new idea, new passion, new desire, whatever it is. But something. So again, get creative however you can, and as you put more energy into your creative expression, the more healing you allow, and then you get inspired to move in a new direction. And then what we end with, and this card flew all the way and landed on my phone. So this is definitely, and it's the Six of Swords. This is a card of moving on, and this really is leaving choppy waters for safer shores. You might literally be moving on with the clothes on your back, which I hope nobody I'm talking to has to go to that extreme. But just know, however bad if the situation has to get worse before it gets better, you will survive this. It may not be the ideal that you want. It may not be the way that you want it to, but you will survive this. You will survive. You will move on. So start getting passionate right now. And then I just look up, it's funny, the other day, the devil card from this deck came out, but today we've also got the Sun. So I love that we've got the Sun card twice, even though this was reversed, whatever. We've got the Sun card twice. So moving on to a newer passion, moving on to safer shores, you will get movement out of this situation. But hang in there, and sometimes the outer reality won't shift very quickly, but you definitely can work on that inner reality. And man, I highly recommend Joe Dispenza. And I said this yesterday, I wake up and put on the headphones and listen to this meditation by Joe Dispenza, and it really helps me create a new frequency, a new vibration. It helps me step into a different timeline version of myself. And even though, I'm still living this timeline, I know that the new timeline also exists, and I'm feeling myself there more and more and more. And it's really helping to deal with trauma. I also have CPTSD, and kind of what I've been feeling for myself, so maybe it's good to share, is that there are these new timelines that are like beckoning, and we can't take our trauma with us to these new timelines, and so they have to be purged. They have to come to the surface. They have to be transmuted and alchemized and or completely released, so that we can align to that version, because they are such completely different frequencies. So I really hope this helps. If you would like a personal reading, just reach out to me. I've got you. I can send you my Calendly link, or you can find it in the show notes. But we will get through this. We'll get through this together. All right. That's all I have for today. Peace and love. Until next time.